Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head.
Consume. Reproduce. Obey. Stay asleep. Conform. Submit.
Hello, Al pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents Films with Friends. The film is the 1988 sci-fi horror film from the master John Carpenter himself. They Live, starring Rowdy Roddy Piper. There were a ton of names thrown around to play his character, but John Carpenter wanted a wrestler. And it kind of started the wrestler turned actor phase. So God bless you, Rowdy Roddy Piper. May you rest in peace. That is the film The Friends, who are here with no bubble gum, but lots of ass kicking ready. First, the lovely, well, without the sunglasses,
yep.
Netter of Netter's Network. How are you doing, my lady? What you drinking? I have Diet Dew myself as usual.
I'm doing great. I just need to put on my face.
Yeah. That is a face indeed. Designed to look very much like a rotting corpse, and very much on purpose, which is kind of neat. Also with us is, did you say what you were drinking? Did
Water.
I miss that? Water? Oh, okay. Is Troy Pacelli, and I know he ain't got no bubble gum. He is ready to go.
That's right.
How are you doing, sir? What you sipping on?
I'm doing real good. I got a Diet Squirt tonight, and I loved your opening. That was
oh, thank you.
That was very, very clever.
I was very pleased with how that came out. I really need to figure out how to change the speak to text thing with to the male. I did it with female. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it because it is kind of creepy. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, and I put so much work into the little weird alien me that I just decided to keep him for my avatar.
That's a good idea.
And change my little thing to obey on it, which I kind of, I don't know, kind of had fun with that one. I can't. I figure out what I got to do with the next film with that one. I got to start working on that one now that I think about it. Let's say hi to the chat. Let's see who is here. Deleted Scenes says hail to everyone. Maybe a few minutes late, but he'll be there. Well, hopefully he'll tune in soon. Of course, Troy came in and Sir Torn. Yep, saying hi. And Sir Torn Clegane saying good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sir Torn. Thank you for joining us as usual. Of course, Netter's Network. And so far, that is it. So, which is fine. You know, people kind of trickle in as they come and then or watch later. I do know the Birdman said he's had a long few days.
I would imagine, yeah.
Keep him and his family in your prayers. They're going through a little family medical issue right now. Yeah. So keep him in your prayers. But he said he'll catch the repeat tomorrow, and he's an early riser anyway, and he'll message me in the morning and I'm not even up yet. And he's like, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, check this video out. And I'm like, my eyes are half crossed. So They Live.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool film. Saw it the opening weekend it came out. Thankfully, because this thing disappeared fast, I heard.
Yeah, it did.
I don't remember exactly because that's not something I was really in tune with. But yeah, I saw it because I was a big wrestling fan back in the 80s, basically late 70s into the 80s, and you know, actually trickled into even up to like throughout the new millennia. I was really into WWE. FE and WCW and all the other wrestlers, and Rowdy Roddy Piper made the rounds. He was always floating around, and he was a great bad guy in wrestling, the heel, as they say. So it was kind of interesting to see him as the hero, as
the
good
baby
guy.
face.
Yeah, thank you for using the appropriate term, baby face. Yes, and this a cool little story. They they were looking at all the regular names from back then to possibly be in this film: Schwarzenegger, Cruz, Alec Baldwin, Michael Biehn, Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson. I mean, anybody who was big in the 80s was considered for this role. And John Carpenter kind of wanted a wrestler. And he was really, he saw Rowdy Roddy Piper in WrestleMania 3 and offered him the role. Now, Vince McMahon, I'm thinking a little cool behind the thing. Vince McMahon didn't want him to do it. So what did Piper do? He quit.
Wow.
Roddy Piper quit wrestling, did the movie, became a hit. He became a kind of a cult hero. So by the time he went back to WWE, his asking price was a heck of a lot more than it was before.
Wow.
God bless Roddy Piper. Deleted Scenes has shown up. Thank you.
Yep.
Welcome, Deleted Scenes. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I saw this film the opening weekend. Thought it was a brilliant film. And at the time, it was kind of a Carpenter railing against Reaganomics. But boy, does this thing hold up throughout time, and so very poignant for even today. So, so what's your history with it? I'm sure you've seen it,
but I know I've seen it.
Okay, what about you, Troy? I mean,
oh yeah, I saw this a whole bunch of times. I do have it on DVD, even though I for ease of sharing it with you guys, download it. But I do have this on physical media because this is one of, I'm not going to say it's one of my all-time favorites, but yeah, you're right. It's incredibly poignant and some great universal messages here.
Definitely, it holds up, I think, quite well. It's there's a lot of it that's kind of become part of the zeitgeist. I mean, even South Park parodied it.
Oh yeah.
There's a fight in this film that's 5 minutes long, and they actually used it as a template for a fight between Timmy and Jimmy in South Park, which is just hysterical because they literally recreate the fight with these guys, the cartoons,
cool.
Move for move almost.
You mentioned that this was kind of a statement against the Reagan era economic policy, but honestly, they do it in such a way that it's allegorical enough that it doesn't just have to be about that. Because when you tie yourself too much to one specific time and issue, it becomes meaningless to future generations. But this can now be applied to so many things today.
Oh yeah. In fact, one of the things, and Carpenter hates this, that the Nazis, the neo-Nazis, use it as an allegory for the Jews, of how the Jews are taking over and influencing society. And Carpenter, of course, that's not the thing, but it's the kind of film you could read so much into.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I would almost say timeless. But of course, every film is a product of its time.
Sure.
But its message just keeps going. Plus, not only is it a poignant film of social commentary, it's an 80s action film with all the great fun dialogue.
Yup.
with some of, with, of course, the most classic line we've already been making fun of. I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And that's just one of the great lines, and written and not improvised, but written and approved by Carpenter, but written by Roddy Piper. Came up with that line as a possible wrestling um, taunt that he would do. Because were you familiar with Roddy Piper as a wrestler?
I knew he existed. I knew the name, but
Right.
I pretty much never watched any of the mainline wrestling. The
Yeah,
only wrestling I ever saw was like live exhibitions.
yeah. Roddy Piper was the consummate heel. He eventually became a babyface because he just became so popular. People loved him no matter
Sure.
how he acted. Uh, uh, Look at Stone Cold. I mean, Stone Cold could be evil and people still cheered him. But Roddy Piper was the manipulative. He was a great talker. Uh, would insult you, and just had some great feuds with like Jimmy Snuka. But of course, very notable being there for the early WrestleManias, fighting Hulk Hogan and Mr. T,
Oh
and
yeah.
just absolutely an awesome personality in the wrestling world. I hated him
Ah,
as I was supposed to do.
right.
And you look back, and once you realize what wrestling is truly all about,
Right.
uh, you can appreciate the bad guys, because it takes as much effort to be evil as it is for the good guys to get over, as they say. Wolf 10 Media has joined the crowd. How are you doing, sir? Been a while since I've seen you, Wolfie. Uh, glad you came by. I was thinking about you a few minutes ago when I was looking at my kaiju intro that I haven't
Oh yeah.
I used a while back. So tour guy said if Baldwin had been cast, there's a moment in the movie that would be considered foreshadowing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have never known this movie existed if it wasn't for a compilation DVD about the best fights in movie history.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I mentioned that fight. That fight is very well known. Uh, Originally, um, was supposed to just be a, you know, 30 second to a minute fight, and they worked on it and worked on it, and it ended up being 5 minutes.
If you have Rowdy Roddy Piper in an action film that's going to involve fighting, maybe take advantage of that. I
Yeah,
don't
take
think that's
advantage of
such a
it.
bad idea.
That's
I got to say though, I understand where Sartorin's coming from. This wasn't really on my radar when it was at the theaters. It wasn't until this hit cable, which actually was pretty soon after it left the theaters.
Mhm.
And it was on, like cable was back then. It was on over and over and over again, so you really couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I sat down and watched it, I was like, this is really good.
Yeah, like I say, it was on my radar because of Roddy
Yeah.
Piper, and I just thought, I was anticipating your normal, not Commando, but something along that kind of line, just action, funny quips, and and Roddy Piper kicking alien butt,
Yep.
which kind of is what it is, but it's just so much more. And Nanette, you said you really don't have any real clear memory of it, so you get a refresh.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I remember like bits of it, but overall, it's like okay, I know I've seen it, but that's about it.
It almost makes
Yeah.
me wonder if you've actually seen the whole movie.
I might have just seen parts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Wolfie, hope you feel better. It says
Yeah.
Wolfie's a little sick, so hope you feel better. Well, feel if you want to watch along, the Cosby link pinned at the top. Troy is going to be running the film.
I'll be
and,
running the projector.
in
Exactly.
fact, as I'm saying that, let's get set here, because we're a good amount in. So let's get our bubble gum ready. Or in this case, no bubble gum. I'm out of bubble gum. Darn it.
Yeah.
I actually can have some gum. It's like mint flavored.
Well, you can do.
Nope,
He said
got
he's there. He said he's there to do both. So
Yep.
he just didn't happen to have gum.
There you go.
But yeah, and one thing, they never really named the character that much, but his name is Nada. Nothing.
Huh.
No one.
Interesting.
I think it's a great, kind of a cool touch. But yeah, get ready to start. Starting at the Universal logo for those who are watching with their own media. So cue it up to the Universal just before it starts, just before the stars start coming in. And I think you're ready to go, Troy?
I am.
Okay, at the usual, when I say zero and all that stuff, 3, 2, 1, go. The stars align. Wolfie says werewolves recover in 3 days.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Alive Films presents.
Alive films with dead people.
Wolfie, you're talking about werewolves. You like werewolves. There's this production company I like that does like cryptid stuff, and they do some American Werewolves, Skinwalker stuff. Pretty cool. They live.
I do think that's kind of clever, either creating new graffiti
Fonts.
or incorporating what was there. Either way. Do you know where this was filmed?
I don't actually. Didn't really remember. Filming location downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, no, it wasn't Chicago. Is this guy gonna turn into the Incredible Hulk?
It kind of looks like that, doesn't it? And here's another one with Meg Foster. Love this.
Yeah. There's some name people, If you're into character actors, they pop up. I like that harmonica.
Oh yeah.
Sound. That bluesy sound. Oh wow. Reflects down on your luck, kind of.
Which and yeah, this opening kind of grabs you because it kind of makes you wonder, what's this guy's story? What's his background?
Yeah, and he like I say, when you first go in it, back in the day before you knew almost everything about the movie, and because of Wikipedia and stuff.
Yeah.
I went to this just knowing the basics. Roddy Piper, aliens. That's all I knew. But the story that formed around it was just so. And even at the time, I knew it was significant, but looking back, just how great the message was in it.
I literally just saw her. I was watching clips of Carol Burnett show.
Oh, yeah.
She was in a clip. It was a parody of Mary Poppins.
Well, she's really bad at her job. She gets really annoyed because he's giving her information,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's nothing for you. Jerk.
Well, she's not taking him seriously. She doesn't really believe he's out there trying.
Yeah, not his first acting role, because he did the iconic role of Hell in Hell Comes to Frogtown before this one, if anybody's ever seen that one.
Yeah.
One of the great titles. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Foreshadowing.
Yep.
I love that little clip of Mount Rushmore. It looked
Yep.
like Lincoln was wearing glasses,
Ah.
which was so cool. Cable 54, where are you? Lynn Green in the house.
Oh, hey, Lynn.
Thank you for joining us live. Headed to bed. Will you be watching in the morning? Enjoy the show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fair enough. And see, I did like he walks past the kid who's watching the TV in the store, you know, and he's just kind of zombied out there.
Yeah. Like one thing he did when they were all the shots of the homeless, they are actual homeless people that John Carpenter hired
Wow.
for the day, fed them, gave them money.
Nice.
Yeah, they really thought it was a cool thing. He didn't. He said that, sir, very begrudgingly.
Yeah. Hey, Cedrus Moss, how you
Cedrus
doing?
Moss, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I mean, it's like, I need a job. I need to talk to whoever can get me the job here, you know?
Back when this movie was made, 88, of course, when he was writing it, it was during the Reagan years. Reaganomics and things like that. It was, you know, Carpenter is a Hollywood liberal, you know. Hi, AL. Dropping by to say hi.
Oh,
course,
thanks so much.
My condolences, AL. Going through a rough
He doesn't even
time.
know how much he's being paid.
You don't care.
Yeah.
No, he asked. He goes, when do I get paid? He said, Thursday. He goes, how much? And the guy just walks away.
Oh, yeah. Keith Davis, this role was written for him.
Oh.
John Carpenter loved him so much in The Thing that he brought him in for this one too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He had originally written the role of Nada with Kurt Russell in mind, but he just thought, you know what?
That might be a bit much, yeah.
It's a bit much. Yeah, he's like, need to kind of give another look. Bruce Campbell was a name thrown around at one point too. That would have been an interesting casting.
Sure, sure.
Also, the story was based off of a short story. I'm trying to find let me find the title of it. I downloaded it. I was hoping to get a chance to read it, but I didn't. Where'd it go? 8:00 in the Morning by Ray Faraday Nelson, which also has been adopted as a graphic novel, and they're going to be possibly remaking this film, but not this film, but the short story, more based on the short story.
Sure. Cedric was asking, was there a homeless or job crisis at the moment? Actually, on a national scale, we were doing really well under Reagan. We were seeing some great economic booms at the time. But this is LA. LA has always been crap, and it's just getting worse.
Yeah, and you find out why it's so bad.
Yeah.
As the film goes. But it doesn't like throw it in your face.
Right.
Which I like. It's kind of the subtleties.
He who has the gold makes the rules.
He has a very healthy outlook on life, doesn't he? He's got an incredibly positive outlook for a man who is homeless.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to do an honest day's work.
Yeah.
I just got to be patient. My time will come. He's not like super angry at the world like the other guy is.
Yeah. Well, and it also kind of makes you wonder what his history is, where he's been, because if he's done any military time, if he's been overseas at all and seen how people live, even the poorest of the homeless here in the United States is actually doing pretty well by comparison to some people in other countries.
Yeah. Geek Flag with Nate Knows 1973. Welcome.
Yep.
Faraday also wrote a story called
The Sun
Stealers,
yeah.
made to a radio play that Radbury presents. He's mouthing the words. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it. That guy right there,
Yeah.
Buck Flowers.
Uh-huh.
He's always playing homeless people.
Oh.
He was remember the homeless guy in Back to the Future?
Oh yeah.
That's him.
Huh. Well, then I probably wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't in Prince of Darkness, another John Carpenter film.
Let me see. What else was he in that that particular time period? He was in Escape from New York, The Fog. So yeah, he's definitely
Yeah.
oh, The Capture of Bigfoot. Starman. Remember them talking that he was Starman.
Steven says that sadly in my town, many of the homeless are mentally ill or drug addicted. They cause a lot of trouble. The police around here aren't always helpful. Well, in all fairness to the police, what can they do? We have no infrastructure to take care of the mentally ill.
Right. I used to work with the mentally ill, and it ain't an easy job, and it's the kind of thing it's hard to take care of someone who doesn't want to be taken care of.
Right.
And some of their mental illnesses, that's how it manifests. They will rage and fight you on it. And it's hard to lock someone up anymore.
Well, and that's a double-edged sword, right? Because on the one hand, it's like we need to be able to do something to help people, but at the same time, do you trust the government to decide when someone should be locked up?
Right.
You know?
So stop watching TV.
Now, it's interesting because he's homeless, because he's, migrant. He doesn't really watch TV. He doesn't, receive a lot of these messages, so to speak.
Well, the televised ones are probably the most powerful, but it's all around them, though, as you'll see later.
Well, sure. The consume and all the posters and whatnot. He's got no money to buy anything with, so he's got to probably tune all that out.
Tour guide saying, yeah, it's a question I pose to my left-leaning friends. Do you trust the government to do things, especially a government that can easily change on a dime?
I am realizing more and more, Sir Torin, that a lot of these, as you say, left-leaning individuals, their answer probably would be yes. Yes, they think that's exactly the job, is for government to take care of them and everyone else. And that's why they defer to authority. Oh, they said we need to do this, so we need to do it, and we can trust them.
No, you really can't.
They live, we sleep.
And that pretty much explains the title. Doesn't, out of context, they live doesn't mean a lot.
Whoops.
Yeah.
So all those guys in the church are aliens, but Roddy?
No. They're the
it's
resistance.
Yeah. The Hoffman lenses they're talking about are the ones that are let you see what's really there. Because right now, everything a person sees is what the aliens want you to see. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
See, he's just basically curious.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's blind.
Yeah.
Kind of implies that he's, he really is intuitive, right? He says he'll be back, and he will be back.
Yeah. I guess if you're going to be homeless, LA is not a bad place to be homeless in. The weather is usually not too bad.
Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, and they let you do whatever the hell you want, so
Yeah.
I mean, you have the most freedom to do whatever you do to get by.
It's a quote-unquote sanctuary city, isn't it?
Yeah, it's working out real well for them.
Oh, yeah.
He was being sarcastic.
Is that, no, he'd be too old.
Did you think Richard Dean Anderson?
I thought it was the kid from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. For some reason, I got a Richard Dean Anderson vibe. I think it was the hair. So he's thinking it's drugs or something.
Yeah.
That makes it my business.
Now, see, I see a car like that, and I think with just a little bit of work and a paint job, I can turn that into an Ecto 1.
You could turn it
The
into
mullet is strong with this one.
Yeah. I said I could turn it into an Ecto 1. You know, the Ghostbusters vehicle.
I like that. Something's rotten in LA, and Rowdy Roddy Piper is starting to get interested. You're homeless, you ain't got nothing else to do. Why not spy?
Sure.
Something to do. Has there ever been an economic crisis in America during the 60s, 70s, or 80s? Yeah, I mean, aspects. We had the gas shortage, and
Usually it's whenever you have the federal government trying to manage and manipulate anything, it tends to have negative consequences on the economy. Why were we doing so well as a country in the Reagan years? Because we were no longer in the Carter years. And then I look at our economy now and I compare it to the Carter years and go, yep, history may not repeat itself, but it does rhyme.
I love the music to this film.
Oh yeah.
Carpenter's always good at that, like, da 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 da,
Yeah.
that driving beat, that building tension. Whoa, bringing in a whole army.
And if you're in his position, you're probably still thinking, yeah, maybe it was drugs. But then you see the you know the heavy lifter here, and you're like, okay, what's this about?
Yep. Yes, Geek Flag. Yeah, Carpenter does some great music.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is his music. I mean, he obviously chose the music, but this wasn't his compositions. But when he does do the composition, it's
Well, he did.
haunting.
He and David David Howarth wrote the music for this film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alan Howarth.
Gotcha.
Why are they destroying the homeless camp?
It's the most orderly panic I've ever seen.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, probably a lot of it's that they're in shock.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know what's going on, and they don't want to do something too outrageous, get themselves shot.
True. Yeah, this looks kind of familiar. I'll tell you what, this movie hits a lot different than it did back when it came out.
Oh yeah.
You're beating a blind man.
Yep. That's what he's thinking too. He's like, okay, what's going on here?
Up the stairs, which is where you should have gone to begin with. Shut the window. Shut the window. Stupid people.
Yeah, the theme to Halloween wrote in 1 week before the movie was released. And the rest is history. Meanwhile, in Memphis, that's the deleted scenes.
The other thing is, I thought he looked a lot like Gary Hirschberger from Twin Peaks, but again, it's not him.
So just want to say, I'd actually like to hear y'all's perspective about growing up in the 80s and 90s in America. If I remember correctly, you guys are old enough for that conversation.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, I had no 80s. I was teenager into my 20s, and I, for the most part, was very optimistic about America. I was pro Reagan. I felt good about our country.
Yeah,
I had no issues, and into the 90s as well. H.W. Bush, I thought was a good president, and then we got Clinton. And
yeah,
although I'm not a big fan of Clinton, he wasn't far left. He was very middle of the road, which is I think what you need to be on both sides. I think it's hard to be far left or far right. If you're in the middle, if you're what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, I think that if you really kind of,
Neutral?
if you're trying to be a politician,
What?
you need to appeal to the biggest base possible. So you tend towards the center.
Yeah.
But
What
the
what what word did you say, Better?
Neutral.
That wasn't it. There's a word out there.
centrist.
Set, kind of, but it's not what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll think, but I mean that's the general idea. Clinton was very much a centrist, and
Yeah.
so America just chugged along. There are glitches though in every situation, but I was look back and it was pretty much a very good time uh, for me. I mean, living in Southern Maryland, and I was never. I mean, I came from a
Did you catch that?
what?
Look at the way they set that shot up. He comes from the direction that the sign is saying one way. He's literally going against the sign.
Against the yeah.
For me, it's like I graduated from high
Good pick.
school in 1980. Then immediately went out, got a job. Actually got married, had 2 kids. Yeah, didn't really think much of it.
Not at all what he was expecting. Okay, so now he's digging to see, is there drugs underneath here? No, it's just sunglasses.
Still, make a few bucks hawking them on the street. They're nice glasses,
Yeah.
But I still don't know why they destroyed the homeless camp.
right? Well, they knew that that's where the rebels were.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep a pair. Why not? They're shades.
Well, yeah.
Some kind of contraband. His eyes shall be open. I like how he shot this in black and white.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's the first thing. He's like, okay, wow. He's weird. Yup.
Obey.
Come to the Caribbean.
We're going to the Caribbean for that.
Marry and reproduce. Yeah, that message has kind of changed. Yes, they want you to obey, but marry and reproduce, not so much.
Yeah, but the aliens want you to reproduce because
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's a workforce. No
Consume.
independent thought. Consume. I like that consume on a sales thing. Very appropriate.
Stay asleep.
All the magazines were all.
Oh yeah. Obey.
Stay asleep. Submit.
Do not question authority.
Watch TV. No imagination. So Geek Flag, Bill Clinton wasn't president. Hillary was just too busy chasing tail, and Hillary was really making all the decisions. Ah!
Yep.
Like there's a book about Edgar Casey behind him.
Uh-huh. This is your God.
Yep. You got to think about operating one of those things. You know that guy gets ripped off a lot.
Yeah, probably
It's
true.
so easy just to grab something and run.
You don't even have to run. You just grab a magazine and keep on walking.
Wow.
Just imagine what's going through his mind.
Yeah. Well,
he's seeing all
almost
this.
certainly I think I'm going insane. I'm seeing things.
Ooh, lots of them in there.
I just think, you look at. They had to completely redress this from a fully stocked grocery store to switch it out with all the, generic-y looking Obey signs.
Right, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Well, that's why you pay. That's why set designers.
Hi, Evelyn.
Hey, Evelyn.
Evelyn, welcome.
Yeah, right. It wasn't CG. They had to actually do it.
Dear me.
Well,
Formaldehyde face. Oops. I don't like this one bit. I just saw Suzanne Summers on the cover of that People magazine. Wow, this is kind of a blast from the past kind of movie.
Yeah. You gotta give it to the ones who designed the aliens. They are so creepy!
Right?
Why does that cop look familiar to me? Clothesline!
Yep.
Why is that cop carrying a 6-shooter?
I don't know, but it's reliable. Oh, yeah, he's in California. You don't want to see someone carrying a gun in California because nobody allowed in California. Second Amendment doesn't apply to Californians.
Yeah, let's just walk into a bank with a
I don't
shotgun.
think he realized he was going into a bank.
Here it comes.
Although, you got to look at this from the point of view of the average person in there. This is just, a mass shooting incident.
Yep. Mama don't like tattletales. Whoops.
And now you
Grab
find
one
out
of
that
the
they
watches and
can
you Get out of
teleport.
there. How convenient that there is this back door that leads to an alley.
Not nice. Now that is kind of funny because it's like, well, what the heck did you think was going to happen, Ding Dong? Because I need another gun.
Reduced clearance.
You know, if this was a Hallmark movie, he'd end up falling in love with one of those ugly-faced people.
Oh, yeah, right. Not when Meg Foster's in the movie.
It would be called They Live and Love.
They live in love, yeah.
These guys on foot gonna do? It's like, wait up!
Got her eyes.
I know, I was
Right?
thinking that.
Evelyn. At least he was nice about it. A little quick research into LAPD switched to 9mm handguns in
1986. Yeah.
1986. But even then, because of the budget restraints, some officers were still walking around with revolvers.
Wouldn't be surprised if they had to buy their own ammunition.
It's a nice cactus.
Yeah. It's a nice place, too.
Mm-hmm. Larry Fortensky, nope, store Rowdy Roddy Piper. Wouldn't you love to have Med Foster say that to you?
I was just thinking that. He's gonna fall asleep. She's gonna take the gun.
Puts him in a very vulnerable position.
Don't fuck.
here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. I am immortal.
And apparently won't be Henry Cavill.
Oh, I hadn't heard anything.
Nothing that I put any stock in, but that's the rumor going around. He's not attached to it anymore. I actually don't think it's going to happen.
Because I was thinking about it. You're talking about that next Friday, right? About reboots and.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because I think about that every now and then. What movies or shows would be good to reboot, and those that you should never touch.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a heck of a drop.
Budget Exorcist.
Right. We visited a friend that lived in a house like this, up on the side of the mountain, real close to others. To drive up there is very, very challenging.
Mm.
And I just can't even imagine how they maintain buildings like that. Well, of course she called the police. You had to expect that. Yeah, that's pretty much the size of it, Nate. I mean, it's been in development hell for so long. You start to figure,
well, like I said, they're talking about redoing this one too, and they've been talking about that since 2010.
Evelyn doesn't like houses propped up on stilts. Yeah, I kind of dig that, Evelyn. I get where you're coming from on that. I think the only reason to build a house on stilts is if you live like in the bayou or something. If you live in, New Orleans or something like that, and you have a flooding problem, yeah, maybe it's not such a bad idea to build a, Baba Yaga hut.
I would love to have something like a hobbit hole where it's like dug into the
Right?
earth,
But then it has to be on ground that's fairly high above the water line.
You have to go back to the garbage can and get another pair of sunglasses.
Unless they've come and gotten the garbage already.
Lethal Weapon 2 proved why stone houses are not practical.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
I remember that.
Right. Exactly. They're in California hanging off cliffs. There are just some people. There's some places people were not meant to build houses. Okay. I mean, it's just
Look at that old fridge back there. That's cool.
Now you're going to have to go back into the church and get another box.
See? Told ya. I mean, talk about timing, though. You know, they literally just picked it up.
Yep. And he has a general idea how big the box is.
Well, one pair's left.
There's a couple in there.
Yep. Good, good.
So they just dumped the garbage.
Right in the box.
Nice.
Ooh.
Ow.
Ooh.
Yep.
You see the wild eyes when he did that?
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of fair, you know? Ding, ding.
We're going to delete the scene, say iconic scene number 2.
I'm wondering, though, is there anything for him to see in this alley?
But he'll say everything's in black and white.
Well, there's that. But if you've ever worn a pair of blue blockers, you're used to, you know, glasses just taking away all the light. Ooh. Now, at this point, normal people would be like losing consciousness.
Yeah. So Torco, so Roddy Piper basically lives this sort of life from the time he was a teenager, minus the alien thing.
Yeah.
But with how odd he was, I would actually believe he and aliens interacted.
And this guy gets to say, yeah, I've been in a lot of films, but I can also say I fought with Rowdy Roddy Piper.
For 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Oh, back body drop.
Ow, 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 ow. Ooh. Ooh. And here's the thing, too. It looks so real. you really believe these guys are punching each other.
They worked on that a lot.
It's the sound effects. The what noise makes you
Yeah,
think
the
that you're
sound
actually
effects
punching
help.
someone.
Oh, right
Yeah.
in the nuts.
Oh, the gnocchis. Oops.
Not like you started laughing.
Yeah.
Ow.
Ooh.
It's not like that's the first time that's happened to him, though.
Oh, no. He's been through that a lot.
David used the move that Bret Hart used to beat Piper at WrestleMania 8. It ain't done yet.
Ooh.
The glasses on his face.
It's kind of a side suplexy kind of thing there.
Okay, I never caught that before. You gotta have the glasses on to see the UFO flying over.
Yeah, it blocks out every cloaking thing.
Yeah.
Life's a bitch and she's back in heat. God, what a great line.
Yeah. And they're both like walking down the street sore.
Busted up.
Got my cheese whiz, boy.
Oh my God, they both look terrible.
There's my brother's gonna stay with me for a couple of weeks. Ah, and he left his pay money in the alley in the box. Well, maybe he picked it up because he's got
Yeah,
no
who
glasses.
knows?
They might have picked it up since then. Because remember now they got two glasses. Because there was
that's what I
another pair in the
thinking.
box.
It's like they got
So.
two pairs of glasses.
Oh,
now,
that's
so.
true. That's true. They both have glasses. Right.
And maybe they're using the money to pay for the room.
Right.
Yeah, so turn talking about WrestleMania 8. I was watching a interview about that, how Bret Hart, how Roddy Piper felt about doing the job for Bret Hart. He knew Bret Hart was a star about to happen. And he was glad to help him kind of get over like that.
Yeah. Young people today only know Keith David as the voice of Goliath in Disney's Gargoyles.
Mhm.
I mean, in fairness, he's told you what he knows. It's not his fault he doesn't know more.
Mhm. Piper in good shape
Oh,
back
yeah.
then.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, when you compare him to other wrestlers, he doesn't look that big.
Right.
But when you actually meet a wrestler, they are huge.
Yeah.
Like when I met Mick Foley, I never thought Mick Foley was that big.
Yeah.
Man's a monster.
Depends on the young person. A lot of young people these days would know him as the voice of Loseric from Star versus the Forces of Evil and Sergeant Johnson in Halo. So he's done a lot of voice work, huh?
Yeah, the Arbiter in Halo, he changed that.
The Arbiter.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the voice work a lot of actors do nowadays for video games.
There are times that Nanette and I have played a video game and gone, I know that voice from somewhere.
And sometimes they'll use the actual image,
Oh, yeah.
the rendering.
Oh, what was the one that Tim Curry did where he plays this, like, crazy Russian general or something?
Don't know.
Evelyn met Hillbilly Jim at a convention. He was enormous.
Yeah,
His waist looked like it was only about 20 inches around.
I know what she because I know him. Well, I don't know him. I mean, I know who she's talking about. He was built like that. He had this like big chest, but he had a very tiny waist.
I worked with the Fabulous Freebirds once. They were nice guys.
Yeah, Michael P.S.
I like he puts on the glasses. Like, okay. So Torn met Kurt Angle when he came to his college. His neck was huge, and he and I were almost the same height. Yeah.
Got contacts now.
Oh. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what he was talking about. You know, you can't watch this movie and not think of V. Remember V?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, contact lenses.
Oh, hard lenses too.
Which begs the question, how are they going to fit them? Because hard lenses need to be fitted.
And I like how they're trying to put them in their eyes. Let's bring the container real close to my eye and then just kind of...
Yeah, clearly guys who don't know how to wear contact lenses. Have you never worn hard lenses?
Me? No. I've only ever worn soft lenses. I never wanted to get hard lenses because I was told that you would get like calluses on your eyelids, and I didn't want to get calluses on my eyelids.
Well, in theory, I've never had any problems, so.
It just sounded painful.
Talk about climate change, even back then.
Yep. Although in '88, talking about methane emissions was a little bit ahead of its time, because back then they were still talking about
Aerosol.
Yeah, exactly, and the loss of the ozone layer.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dun,
you're not
dun.
dead.
Duh.
Yeah, and you know what? He healed up pretty darn fast.
Yep. Yeah, his face was a hamburger. Like,
Yeah. Actually, both of them.
It's TV magic healing.
Right.
Plus, have they actually said how long of a period it's been? A few days, a week, maybe.
I
Still got a
thought
little-
so too.
Still got a little bruising.
Well, it's easy to forgive you. You're pretty.
Yeah, but is she Natasha Kinski pretty?
No, kind of a different kind of.
Meow.
Yeah. Oof. A lot of people just get dead. V, but with half the cast of Prince of Darkness. Right, deleted scenes.
Ooh.
How'd they find him?
Just go.
I always loved that muzzle flash that they would
Yep.
use.
And the never-ending ammunition.
It's what you get for not bringing bubblegum to a gunfight.
That is a lot of ammo being used.
Oh, yeah. But get dead. Oh, shit.
That Frank.
It is an escape. 5, 4, 3.
Get in there.
Yeah, if he'd have been just a little bit slower,
Yep. Whoop.
there'd have been half of them gone. Roddy's Arnold moment. Wasn't it you, Al, who was saying that Arnold was one of the people that was considered for the role?
Yeah, basically, if you were a popular action star, your name kind of was floated around.
Yeah. Hey, it's a BKE meter.
Yep.
Yeah, I caught that too, Nate.
You know, sometimes you go into the prop room and you just find something.
Yeah. If it's got blinky lights, so much the better, right?
Yep.
Oh, look, it's Davos. 2025, huh? Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Wow.
Selling out the human race.
Yeah.
What would you do, Troy? Would you sell out the human race or would you be resistance?
I probably shouldn't say on public YouTube. I've already made that choice. Let's put it that way.
Well, talking actual, talking real aliens.
Yeah, it's even worse. They're not aliens. They're
Yeah.
real people, yeah. There goes Big Booty.
Wee.
Yeah, that's an old Klingon saying, Nate. I agree with you.
Better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Yeah.
Yep.
I was going through some stuff tonight and found my little card of conversational Klingon that was
Oh, yeah.
at a convention. Yeah.
Okay, so this is futuristic alien technology. That's pretty much how sci-fi goes, I guess.
Billy Seeds doesn't remember this part. Well, boys.
He's playing the role. He knows what he's doing. And he grabs him by the chin.
By the hair of his chinny chin.
Yeah, exactly. Selling out the human race is business. Old Buck turned it up to Patty Hearst real quick, yeah. Videodrome, yeah.
You actually can understand why he would. He'd been down for so long.
Yeah. Every Benedict Arnold has a reason. We're experiencing some technical difficulties induced by hand grenades.
He's a little obsessed with the woman right now as to what
I
his
know.
job it needs to be.
It's like maybe you got to get your priorities straight,
Yeah.
Pally.
Kill the signal, then worry about Holly.
You're so polite.
Thank you very much.
I mean, truth is, he really didn't want to kill her.
No. She's probably human.
Probably has no idea what's going on either.
The pre-K meter again.
I take their guns. Ghostbusters!
Yup. I literally have one of those within arm's reach.
So you are an alien conspirator.
Only Klingons.
Ah.
Ooh.
Yep. See,
That was an effective shot too.
Yep.
Because you don't see like brains fly everywhere, but you know he's dead.
Yep.
And just like he said, he had a family.
Well, that's
Wife
how you
and
know how they
kids.
found out where their hideout
Yep.
was.
Magic guns that don't need reloading. There you go.
I thought he was pulling out a grenade.
Yep.
Is he giving him the finger?
Yep.
Never said it had a happy ending.
Right. Well, it kind of does. Everyone's waking up.
Yep. Let's go with Ebert.
Yeah.
And they just mentioned John Carpenter, which I thought was funny.
Yep.
Hello. That was wrong, baby. And that is the end.
Alrighty then.
I love how open-ended that ending is.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, this is not a movie I would want a sequel to. I really wouldn't.
No,
Because-
it's just so good on its own, and it leaves you so many possibilities to think about.
Unfortunately, the most logical occurrence is that most people would still be like, okay, whatever, let's just keep the status quo. Aliens live among us. We'll learn to deal.
Yeah.
Submit,
Like they-
obey, you know.
I like that they call them ghouls. They don't call them aliens. They call them ghouls. Ghoul is a great term that is very underused.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. Because what does it mean? It means like not human, right?
Yeah.
But preying on humans. And I mean, I know we call them aliens. I think we've kind of expanded our definition of alien. But the reality is they're not the alien. They're not the kind of aliens you think of, like from another planet. They're apparently from another dimension.
Yeah, I think what's the Andromedon or Andromedon or something like that is the name of their world
Oh, okay.
where they're from. But it's kind of like a alternate universe dimensional kind of thing.
It's kind of a Lovecraftian kind of a concept,
Yeah.
really.
J.H. Arufat. That's a cool name. I love looking at names in the synthesized sound effects, also by Alan Hallworth. Stand-ins. Labor foreman. Paint foreman. Standby painter. You don't have to paint, just stand by, just in case. Commercials produced by Larry Sulkus. That's a familiar name. Caterers, Mario's Catering and Angel Trujillo. Wonder what kind of food they do. Stunts by everyone. Yeah. They're from the big dimension with Big Booty.
Yeah, yeah.
Universal City Studios, Carolco International. Characters are fictional. Any familiarity with, Living or Dead? Well, that is They Live. They still live. They are among us. I'm sure they've just found a new signal, and we are once again blind to their plan. But I hope everyone enjoyed that. I did. That is such a cool movie. What do you think, Netter? You really didn't have much of an experience with it, so...
I remember bits, mostly like beginning bits, But I don't think I've seen it all the way through, so this is the first time I've seen it all the way through.
What'd you think?
Well,
To
you know,
me,
I
mean,
oh,
it
sorry.
was typical of the movies of that era. And I'm sitting here going, I wear contacts.
Yeah, exactly.
I was wondering if anybody in the chat who had never seen it was watching along, what they thought about it. But yeah, I mean, it's just a great allegory for today too. I mean, you know, social media influencing us. Yeah, it may not be aliens from another dimension, but you know, you have the right, the left, the center, the LGBTQ, the neo-Nazi. I mean, it's they come in from everything, and you really have a hard time kind of washing out the chaff, the white noise into what the real messages are. So you kind of got to be careful.
See, and that's the other thing. You know, I'm a big proponent of the whole death of the author concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, once you've done your film, once you've put it out there, you're done. You have communicated, and now it is up to the audience to, you know, decide what they do with that. And that's why I respect the heck out of David Lynch. You know, when he puts something out there, he will not answer any questions about what his intent was.
Right.
You know, and so, yeah, I don't really have a lot of sympathy. I mean, I think Carpenter's a genius, but
Yeah,
sorry,
I
man.
mean, he meant it as anti-Reagan, but
You may have meant it that way, but you know, you put out a message that applies to a whole lot more than that.
right, which I think is actually to his credit. I mean, he may have had his influence, but the product he gave really was a all-inclusive almost.
Well, that's why it's
great.
funny when I comment on something political on social media, and I got a bunch of people liking it, and I look back at the list, and I'm like, they think I'm on their side on this.
Geek Flag with Nate
Geek
said,
Flag.
classic sci-fi made even more better by hanging out with all of you.
Oh, man.
Thanks.
Rhetorical Glade said I liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I definitely see how much it holds up.
Yeah.
Deleted scenes overall 8, toxicity 7. Oops, wrong show.
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
But yeah, they live. That finishes up John Carpenter January on my channel in 2 weeks. We are starting Futuristic February, and we're going to be watching the film that started the TV show Buck Rogers of the 25th Century.
Yeah.
The original theatrical version with the James Bond beginning, which is just so wonderfully misogynistic. I love it. But yeah, great story.
It wasn't so great for Gil Gerard either, though. He wasn't too fired up about it either.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was a tough day at work to film those scenes.
Well, sure, there was an upside, but the fact is, from everything they said, those lights were very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm sure, but you said there's an upside. I'm sure there was an upside.
I see what
you hanging around when you hanging around Pamela Hensley and Aaron Gray in those outfits.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
You're right. You're right about that.
But yeah, we're gonna definitely from 1979, Buck Rogers' 25th Century. 2 weeks after that, it's going to be Logan's Run, the classic thing in the classic sci-fi film 1976, I believe.
Jenny Agutter. Oh,
Jenny
bring
Agutter.
it on.
Or as Ross on Friends calls it, the sexiest film ever made.
It's right up there. It really is up there.
It is. And
you're cold and wet. Maybe you should change.
Yeah, Farrah
Right
Fawcett's
here.
in it, and that's a cool film. So looking forward to that. But before Buck Rogers, we have next week on Netter's Network. What Netter? Cat People, 1982,
Something.
Something like that.
something like that. Malcolm McDowell and Natasha Kinski. Cat People. It's a horror film, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's been forever since I saw that. I think the last time I saw that, it was like on cable, like Showtime or HBO, when I had that bazillion years ago. So I'm looking forward to watching that again.
Yep.
Also, we have a special event coming up at the end of March between a show on another network called Last Call with Troy Pacelli and me. We're going to be doing a special 2-night 2-movie rewatch, Eddie and the Cruisers 1 and 2. More about that later. But before that, that's still a long way away. But before that, tomorrow night, Geeky Geezers, what's going on?
Well, tomorrow night I will be there as I am every Sunday night, but I'm going to be more or less taking a back seat as Aged Boomer and Stephen Otten Deleted Scenes talk to us a little bit about the Oscars this year and the nominations. And I have no idea. I haven't seen any of these movies. Certainly am not interested in award shows, but
I did a live stream yesterday for those who might have missed it. I gave the fact that this year is the first year I can remember having seen so many of the nominated films
because
10
they were all
nominated
streaming films, right?
Well, some of them, but even then, I'm shocked I've seen them. But there's several blockbusters on there. Avatar, Top Gun, I saw those, and I've seen Banshees of Inisherin. I've seen The Fablemans, and I've seen All's Quiet on the Western Front. And just it's been so long since I've seen half of them, and quite frankly, 10 way too many. I think it's just too unwieldy. 7, I'm okay with. But I like the old days when it was 5.
Yeah.
You had the Fab 5. But interesting. Some interesting nominations this year. Jamie Lee Curtis getting her first nomination ever. Congratulations to her. And so it'll be interesting to see what Deleted Scenes and Age Boomer talk about tomorrow night. It should be a good show, and like I said, no matter what you think of the Oscars and the Academy Awards or other award ceremonies, I'm still interested to hear who gets whatever. I don't care about the actual ceremony, but it's interesting to see who wins, because I'd really love to see Brendan Fraser win.
Yeah,
that would be such a great story, and short. And I think Short Round winning would be cool to have Short Round win for supporting actor.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow night, Geeky Geezers, the same time, right? 9:00.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
9:00 your time, 8:00 Central Time, just so that the chat isn't confused. Yeah.
9:00 Eastern Standard Time. Real time.
New York centric time. There you go.
Monday, I don't think Birdman's back yet. I think he is planning to come back in February full force, because he's got John Williams and Jerry Goldsmith both have their birthdays that month. I do know that he's going to be watching Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with, I want to say, retro reels. I'm not sure what night. It might be the 8th. It might be John Williams' actual birthday that they watched that on. So that'll be cool. But yeah, keep abreast of soundtracks of Birdman. He's going to be coming back soon. Just the holidays and the personal things, and his co-stars kind of all had some stuff going on, and so that's what's happening there.
Yep.
Wednesday. Okay, there's nothing. Oh no, well Tuesday. There's anything with Matchstick?
No,
Or-
no, Matt. This is the off week for Matchstick.
Okay.
And I can't say anything ahead of that because I actually don't remember the schedule. So, but I just know that this week, no.
Oh, okay. That's nothing on Wednesday, like I said.
No
With
Thursday.
Birdman, to my knowledge, unless he pulls something out of his hat, which he is apt to do.
It is a possibility,
Yeah,
absolutely.
he kind of pops on. Maybe I'll talk him into doing a movie with me Wednesday night, or we'll see what happens. Maybe
Yeah.
do something on my channel. Thursday night, I don't think has Netter planned anything on Thursday yet.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'll give her credit though. She's been really trying to get through the editing on some of her
Right.
bigger videos that she's filmed. She has dropped a couple, so
I have dropped part 1 and part 2 of my bathroom renovation videos. So if you guys haven't checked those out yet,
I
go to
have
my
not
channel,
gotten
check
any
those out.
notifications about that. I gotta check.
And
Go
if you're
and-
not
go
already
and find
subscribed,
that.
please do.
yeah,
think
yeah.
I know I'm subscribed. I just am surprised that it doesn't
I'm at
pop
the
up on my
chat.
feed.
Well, see if you hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check out her videos. Give her a thumbs up. It encourages the heck out of her. I mean, I am not kidding. I know YouTubers say that all the time, but when she comes, and she's like, I got another subscriber, or oh, someone liked my video. It's like she really does get a thrill out of it. So,
I'm eight away from 400.
400, yeah.
I would
I'm
like.
getting there.
I'd like to get that. That'd be nice.
I'm 8 away
Um,
from 200.
there
And
you
once
go.
I hit 200, I'm still planning on having a giveaway, but y'all
You
gotta
gotta hit it,
sub
yeah.
to me so I get to that 200.
Well, I think everyone here is probably subscribed to all of
Probably.
us, but by
Yeah.
all means, share out these videos, share out the streams. See if you can't get your friends to come watch movies with us on Saturdays and whatnot. But
That's what I always say at the end of my reviews. Like, share it, spread the word.
yeah, if you liked it, your friends probably will too. Yeah.
Friday, you never know. Might do something again. I don't know. For
Maybe,
me. But
maybe.
later on that night at 10 p.m. Eastern Real Time is Friday Night Last Call with Troy Pacelli, and he's going to have special guest Deleted
Yeah,
Scenes.
deleted scenes again. He's a busy guy this week. He's talking Oscars tomorrow. Tomorrow night, and he'll be back on my channel on Friday. We're going to be talking about remakes and reboots. Why,
Awesome.
when it works, and when it doesn't. And chances are we'll probably be talking about Cat People. We'll probably be talking about All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah. Which
you know,
have you seen it? All Quiet on the Western Front. Have you seen the new one?
Not the new one. I literally just saw the original recently. That
the
is,
1930 version.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
a heck of a movie.
I watched the new one. I remember seeing the one with Richard Thomas back in the 70s or early
Oh.
80s. I forget exactly when. I think it was the 70s.
Oh,
But
I didn't know there was another one. Okay.
oh yeah, Richard Thomas plays Balmer, and Cat is played by Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But what's really
And then-
impacting about the original is knowing that all those guys were actual veterans.
Yeah,
that had actually
yeah.
lived through stuff like that.
I guess
Yeah.
it's only like what 12 years removed
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
from the actual war. That's kind of freaky when you really think about it. That was closer to that war than we are to Desert Shield.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fairly recent for us.
So,
So come stop by Troy's channel that night. Some other things to watch out for. The Fan Man is back. Today he had his first live Fan Man Live that he is doing. So, and he's going to be doing he's going to be doing a show a week of different things. He's got 4 concepts: Superman lives, Batman lives, a macabre show about horror, and a Fan Man Live, whatever, kind of all around kind of a show. So kind of stick with keep an eye out for that. But like I said, that'll lead us into Cat People
Yeah.
with the lovely Natasha Kinski.
And Annette O'Toole.
And Annette O'Toole, that is right. Yeah, Annette O'Toole.
I tell you, I recorded that off of cable when I was a teenager, and pretty much wore it out in that pool scene. Yeah.
I always like going on the YouTube when you see at the bottom the rate of people watching and like the little spikes of
Yeah.
Yep. It's like that. Boom.
Most rewatched scene. Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah. Just like that. Just like Fast Times.
Yup.
Just a boom. That little high. I always say if I don't want to sit and watch a 20-minute video, I go, okay, this is the most important part. Is right here. Boom. And I watch.
It's like Jeffrey from Coupling. I love the piano. Holly Hunter's naked through the whole movie. She was nude in one scene. Depends on how you watch it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget and do that with proper films. You can see a lot of movies in a night. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm hoping to, like I said, I had a live stream yesterday. Go back, check it out if you just want to hear me rambling for a little bit. I did a review earlier this week on that 90s show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do, depends on how I feel the next several days. I have seen, like I said, all's quiet. I always want to say all's quiet. It's all quiet.
All quiet
on the Western Front. I have seen Megan, and I have seen the Jennifer Lopez, Josh Duhamel film that's on Amazon Prime, Shotgun Wedding, which is surprisingly fun and cute. It's not great, but it's fun. One or two reviews somewhere, and that definitely want to do Megan. That'd be a fun review to do. So I might do that. Might do all quiet on the Western Front too.
I gotta say, I haven't seen Megan. I've heard about it. I
Good
am
film.
so hoping that Mego gets the license to do that figure.
That is
I would love to have a Megan figure to go with my Chucky and whatever Tilly's character's name is.
Yeah, that is a creepy doll.
Yeah.
Think Chucky meets Terminator. And
yeah,
that's
kinda.
That's big.
Kinda.
And just good performances too. I mean, you think a lot about the doll, but the performances in the movie are good too. So
I was shocked to find out that most of that film is practical effects.
yeah,
I just assumed that the doll character was CG. It's
Nope,
not.
it's a girl in a mask.
Yup.
It's like an 11, 12-year-old girl
Yep.
in a mask, and there's a different person doing the voice.
Yep.
But yeah, it's this girl, and doing the whole weird dance thing. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great performance, physical performance. Just really good film. I was really, really pleased with it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So
Steven said that he has a review up of the Indian action movie Pathan up on his channel.
I've heard about that. I hadn't.
Had a viewer from India pop up on the stream. That's cool. Yeah, good.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I saw because I go, sometimes when you go to certain sites, you do see a lot of foreign films that pop up or foreign language.
A lot of people in our, fandom sphere, deleted scenes, pops on pop culture. A lot of others have been really kind of, I don't want to say pushing, it makes it sound negative, but, highly suggesting to me that I check out some of these films like that and RRR and so many others. They're saying, look, so much of Hollywood sucks. Maybe check out some of these Indian films. So maybe I'll have to.
Yeah, I used to, like I say, every now and then you come across a very cool foreign film. I'm not I don't like go around seeking them out or anything, but
Yeah.
you might come up. I still think the best foreign film I remember coming across that someone suggested was Hero with Jet Li, and that was awesome.
Was it?
So yeah,
Yeah.
I love that movie. That's just a really cool movie. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Had a lot of fun. Just love this movie, and always fun to be sharing these films with you guys. I love it when you guys are watching along and putting up something on the chat as we watch it. Always great to have Troy and Nanette
Yeah.
remarking on the film. I love talking about movies, so I'm always happy to do rewatches. I put it out there. If you want me to do a rewatch on your channel, be happy to do it. If you want to do one with me on my channel, give me a contact. I'm always open if I got a night free and I'm up to it. Would love to, well, let's watch a movie, or whatever. Still trying to get Boomer to watch Robin of Sherwood, and so lots of cool stuff coming.
I thought he said you guys were going to be doing that because he's
we
kinda
are.
looking
It's
forward
just
to it.
it's just finding the time.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
you guys hadn't gotten it scheduled yet. Okay.
Yeah, I was, I haven't had a chance really to discuss with him because he's been like busy doing his stuff.
Yeah.
But I I thought Friday night would be a good one. Maybe it still would be. Start at like do 7 to 9. That would give him a nice hour break before he does your show. But we'll figure it out. It's just a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And like I said, just keep watching. And before we go, Nanette.
Yeah.
You know what I always say.
I do, but
We
maybe
can
share it
talk
with the
amongst
rest of them.
ourselves. We can talk amongst ourselves. That's all well, good, and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are here joining us in the chat, like Al was saying, dropping your comments, your questions, your trivia, just being goofy. Because it doesn't feel like we're separated by all these miles, but we're all in the same room together, just enjoying a film, enjoying each other's company. And you guys aren't just friends for us, you're family too. We love you guys and we do appreciate you being here. So thank you for spending this time with us.
Definitely. And yes, to lead the scenes, we need to do Hawk the Slayer. Get with me. We'll do that like soon. Hawk the Slayer. Do that on like a whatever night's good for you. I like like I said, I like a Friday. Friday night's a good movie night for me. I don't know, but any night really, as long as I don't like going against people. But yeah, Hawk the Slayer. It's a lot of fun. Jack Palance just chewing up the scenery. It's awesome. Yeah. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Find something great to watch. Enjoy it. Pop that popcorn and just go to town. Have a great one. Love you guys, and take care. And see you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, y'all.